I think we up next. All right, let's get it. So, what's up, everyone? It's Christian Hayes, co-host of the podcast We Got Next. We wanted to try something out with this podcast and start doing some crypto reviews over the time. So each week, or hopefully twice a week, we're going to try and end up doing different podcasts, just to talk about different cryptos. Throughout our podcast that we do, the live edition will typically end up having good explanations and examples of what type of sectors there are and how to get involved in cryptocurrency, and then talk about different news and notes within the cryptocurrency space itself. But we want to end up using this time to end up going in depth on different cryptocurrencies. So each week I'm going to try and then end up picking just different cryptocurrencies. Some might be random, some might be recommended by the general public. So you can reach out to us at we_got_next, or you can hit up Steven or myself on Twitter. But before we even start with the cryptocurrency that we're going to do for this week, I wanted to end up just giving shout out and credits, because we'll talk about it later on our blend of cryptocurrency and sports later in the week. But the game 7 yesterday was really good between the Clippers and the Mavericks. Some news or notes that we definitely learned: Kawhi Leonard is legit. PG-13, we're going to need a little bit more from you, my man. And Luka Doncic is going to need help out there in Dallas. Kristaps, as you start to notice, he definitely likes to pull threes. There was one time I definitely noted, and I put on Twitter as well, Kristaps had a 2-on-1 fast break and he ended up pulling a three. When you're 7 feet tall, you should not be pulling threes on a fast break. You should definitely be driving and dishing it off so you can get an alley-oop on that one. And good credit to Trae Young, Ice Trae, for definitely taking home that W yesterday. So with that being said, we're going to go into the crypto review for this week. And with this whole crypto review, we're just going to try and go in depth a little bit, just as what he usually would do. I know some people are probably driving. Some people just are trying to figure out how to end up doing this side of it to figure out different cryptocurrencies. So what we're going to do today is Tellor. All right, so the spot that we're using to end up finding this information out, to start with, you can go to CoinMarketCap, even CoinGecko. CoinPaprika is another one that you can use, but I'm going to use CoinMarketCap today. I'll try out the others in different segments and editions that we end up doing. So currently it's priced at, as the time of this recording, it's priced at $56.15. That's the average amount for it. The circulating supply is a little over, close to 1.7 million Tellor are in the circulating supply. And we're going to end up just going down so you guys can figure out different spots to end up investing, buying this cryptocurrency. Tellor is one of those that you can find on a lot of different exchanges. So when you look here, you have Binance, you have Coinbase, Huobi, you have Gate.io, Poloniex, BitThumb, CoinDCX. So you have a good amount to end up choosing from. OKX is even here, Balances, 0x Protocol. So what you can end up doing when you're on this, because there's probably going to be different people around the world that are listening to this, you can look at the ones that are for your area. If you do have a VPN, you can end up using the VPN. Me personally, what I usually would use is Binance is one that I end up using. I use Hotbit at times. Some people are weary after they did have their hack, but I am one that uses Huobi sometimes, OKX at times, but Binance I'll stick to. So after looking at that, we can end up jumping on over to the Tellor's website. And on the website as well, we will end up going in depth just to talk about like what social media they have, because that's always the big thing, just seeing the following that each of the communities have. You will start to understand when you're in the cryptocurrency space, a strong following is really good, just as well as the roadmap and the fundamentals that go along with it. There are some people that'll focus on the technical analysis aspect, but with the company and project to go far down the line, fundamental analysis is very strong. So just starting here, it's a pretty nice layout. So just diving in, Tellor is a permissionless community of token holders, data providers, and validators. Together, we cryptographically secure putting real world data on chain. So we're just going to click to see how it works. So here's how it works. So they have the Tellor smart contract on the end, and then they have the proof of work that leads down to the miners as well. But then you also have the miners and then the value output leading back into the smart contract. Then you have the individual user that is going to give a tip, or the individual user is going to give a query, and it comes back to the Tellor smart contract, or even the user smart contract, and it'll come back in to the readable data feed. So, and then at the bottom, you have the network of data providers. So you have your data queried, where it says users can request specific data queries be updated in the next block by adding a TRB tip. And then you also, because it's a proof of work, so queries become POW, proof of work. Tellor smart contract manages the requests and issues the highest tipped queries for the data providers to mine along with a POW, proof of work challenge. So data providers turn proof of work into data updates. And then you also have it saying official data values as a readable on-chain price feed, and then submissions can be distributed. So we'll just click on the white paper. We'll go back afterwards, but we'll click on the white paper. So just an introduction, and it starts at the top with their introduction of, we believe a white paper should be easy to read and simply help you understand how the project works. We hope the following information provides that. Let's start with the basics. So something I do like definitely with any type of write-up that a company has, you definitely want some sort of good introduction and just end up seeing how it works. So the first thing we'll click on is basically how Tellor works and what an overview of it is. So at a high level, Tellor is an Oracle system where miners compete to add data points to an on-chain data bank. To create a properly incentivized system, Tellor mints a native token tributes, TRB. Miners are incentivized to submit data using inflationary rewards, and which data types they update are chosen based upon the tips assigned to each query. So that's just a little, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you guys because you all can take the time to do it. So just a couple of the steps when it says the basic flow for adding and retrieving data is as followed. So the user submits a query to Tellor using tributes to incentivize miners to choose this query over other submissions. Next part is other users who want the same data pay or tip this data series to further incentivize selection by miners. So third is every 5 minutes, Tellor smart contract selects the best funded queries and provides a new challenge for miners to solve. Fourth one, and this is the last one I'll read for you guys, is miners submit their proof of work solution and off-chain data points to the Tellor contract. The Tellor contract sorts the values as they come in, and as soon as 5 values are received, the official value, in parentheses, the median of the 5, is selected and saved on chain. The miners are then allocated their payout. Base reward and tips, we refer to these data update cycles as blocks. So then 5 just goes into anyone holding Tellor tributes can dispute the validity of a mine value by paying a dispute fee. 6 is for the next day, parties have the opportunity to dispute the result of the vote by paying a higher dispute fee. 7 is each miner addressed cannot win successive blocks. So just going down just to learn more about the Tellor token. So Tellor tributes, TRB, are the native token of the Tellor. They're used to incentivize miners to provide data through base rewards and tips via user requests. They are used for governing valid data through disputes and for system upgrades proposed and voted on by token holders. So far, everything that I've been seeing, I do actually like within Tellor. So tip burns. In the Tellor system, 50% of tips go to miners. So half to each selected miner, and 50% of the tips are burned each block. So the supply, and this is always an important thing, just understanding the supply. So the total supply of Tellor is determined by usage and mining rates. For the maximum supply, Tellor's supply will grow at the rate of the base reward times 288 queries per day. The graph below shows the Tellor supply and the growth rate, assuming full utilization. And you're able to then see what the inflation rate is, and then in comparison with the Tellor supply that it has. So then going down, you just end up seeing the dev share. So the Tellor Oracle implements a 10% developer share. So in parentheses, dev share. This revenue stream will be managed by the Tellor team and utilized in the following ways: ensuring community participation and accurate voting for disputes, create and distribute efficient mining software, market and promote Tellor to ensure adoption, which leads to great mining incentives, create developer tools for utilizing Tellor in production deployments, and then fund research and improvements to our system, which is all good, especially within the proof of work. And then the governance is, in addition to providing a means of voting on the validity of data submissions, the Tellor token is used to vote on upgrades on the Tellor contract. And then you can end up just going down. We'll do one more, just looking to what security is. So security is achieved through Tellor's architecture, mining algorithm and selection process for median value, and incentives implemented for miners to promptly submit the correct values. Using the median value instead of the average or simply just one protects the value from being manipulated by a single malicious party submitting an extreme value. Ultimate security, however, is provided by staking/dispute mechanisms. Since any value that is disputed will be put to a vote by all token holders, the simple cost to attack sensor is, and then it says, cost to win proof of work at least 3 out of 5 times plus number of malicious values submitted times price of stake times the length of blocks wished to be attacked. So that's just a little bit about Tellor. I'll end up going back to the main site so that we can keep going with that. But that's just diving into the white paper some at different points. I do recommend whoever is interested in Tellor, after I finish with this video, just dive into the white paper because you'll definitely see a good amount. So keep going down on the main site. Tellor's main contract arranges the query queue, provides the proof of work to the miners, and determines the medians. It is the heart of the network around which everything revolves. And so before we go back up, we'll just end up going. So some of their social media, they do have Discord, they do have Telegram, GitHub, Medium, and Twitter. So the first one we'll start with is Twitter, just always being able to see how their Twitter is. So currently, Tellor does have 22,000 followers, which is very good. They've definitely continued to grow, especially they got on Coinbase as well, so that definitely helps. And it even says here what Tellor is. So Tellor is a decentralized oracle on Ethereum, enabling censorship-resistant access to off-chain data. And then just going back here, they do have a Medium, so that's another way to end up just learning more about Tellor, just being able to check it out, and then just learning about Tellor 3's upgrade is live, which is a good thing. And then you can end up scrolling down, just learn about it. They announced that Tellor was going to be on Coinbase, which is good. You always want to see when the project and the company are basically being transparent or continuing to communicate, and then seeing how many people end up either reading the articles or the support that they end up getting, like the liquidity using Tellor, and then having their updates. So you always want to see the roadmap and see what is coming ahead. And that's a big thing. Then also just check out the Discord, check out their Telegram. Those are other nice, important things. So another thing to do is we'll just click on the about. So the Tellor founding team. So they have Nicholas Spett, and then they have his LinkedIn that's linked there. So you can end up clicking on that just so you can see Nick really quickly. And I always think it's important when it ends up showing you either their LinkedIn, or it links to even their Twitter or something like that. So Nicholas Spett is the CTO of Tellor, so that's really good. You can end up seeing his experience that he's had being the CEO and founder of another company. He was a research economist. He was also an economist for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And then he went to Johns Hopkins. So that's something that's good. Johns Hopkins is a very awesome school in America. For anyone that's listening from overseas or anywhere around the world, Johns Hopkins is definitely good. And then he also got his master's in applied economics, which is big. And you have Brenda Loya, and I apologize if throughout this time I butcher or mess up anybody's name at all. So she is the CEO and co-founder at Tellor. And so she was the VP and lead developer. Before then, she had a supervisory statistician employment and training administration role with the Department of Labor. So big things. And then she was the international economic analysis. So between just the two people we've read, they have a strong background in economics, which is also very important. And then she as well went to Johns Hopkins, and then she went to UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso. And then she also got her certificate at Johns Hopkins in forecasting practice. So those are really good things you definitely want to see. LinkedIn definitely always helps to end up learning and understanding about the team that they have, because even though some teams that are anonymous, you are able to trust them and they do have promise. Teams that do have everything laid out, you definitely get to learn more about them and then develop like that relationship with them and get to know who they are and gain that sense of trust. But then also there's a transparency factor there. Then last one's Michael. So Michael is the co-founder at Tellor. And so Michael as well. So they all work together at the previous place. Then Michael helped coach for small business owners, as a mentor coach. Those are definitely good things that you want to see as well. They all have their different parts that they're helpful and beneficial at. And then he graduated from UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and with the bachelor's in film and video. And then he also has a certificate. He's a professional certified coach. So being able to help motivate a team, although a lot of people might not think of it in the most important way, the three of them in their different aspects definitely will help. So I think they do have a pretty good team. They clearly are doing something if they're on different exchanges such as like Binance, Coinbase, and Huobi. And just a little bit more about them. We didn't choose Oracle, so we got into this space because we were excited about the ability of this new technology to create change. You can now have a sound digital money sovereignty over your data, applications that can't be stopped or censored by some bureaucracy. And I'll just read a little bit more. If you didn't know, we were originally building Tellor as a tool for Doxia, our former decentralized derivatives protocol. So that's how they all were together. They were also all working there. When the implementation was near complete, though, we knew we had something special and decided that we would be better off running with Tellor than Daxia. It was probably meant to be, though. Given our team's background in data reporting, the regulatory status of our country, we all live near DC. So as you know, we got next podcast. We're also from around the DC area. We definitely are not too far away from where the three team members we just spoke about, where they're from. And even the same with the ecosystem. Oracles were/are a more pressed need. We are happy it fell in our laps. Even though we originally built Tellor for Daxia, oracles are a broad enough field and technology to really encapsulate most of the building blocks when it comes to data and smart contracts. This means that there is a whole lot more we can do with Tellor, and as stated in our future vision and beliefs article, we plan on building it all while holding to our guiding principles. So that's basically a little bit about Tellor. It's a easy thing once you click the documentation, so you're able to end up looking down more about them and just seeing what all Tellor kind of is, whether it's like the Tellor playground. They also have using Tellor, user functions, data feeds. They have introductions. In the integration aspect, then you also can end up just going back to the main site, and pretty sure that's almost it. Yeah, so you can talk to them. You want on Discord. We worked on how it works, just being able to see how it ends up working throughout the whole thing. And then just going back, so Tellor currently on CoinMarketCap is ranked 323. They have over 37,000 on the watch list. They are audited, which is a very big thing. And the tags, if you ever want to look them up an easier way, you can go under Mineable, DeFi, Oracles, even Framework Ventures. And so, yeah, the price of Tellor will definitely fluctuate at times, especially because of the lower circulating supply. You will see that. So at one point, Tellor did hit a high I know at one point it hit over. It was definitely over 100. Yeah, so over $145. Tellor did hit in May, which is big. And then you look up from where it is at, that's over a 2x you'll end up getting at minimum with Tellor. So then even when you're just on CoinMarketCap, you can end up looking into more so about what Tellor is, because it even says here on CoinMarketCap for what is Tellor. Tellor was launched in 2019 by a US-based team with the aim to address the Oracle problem on the Ethereum blockchain. Tellor is an Ethereum-based decentralized secure Oracle for decentralized finance, DeFi, decentralized application dApps. Tellor allows DeFi dApps to receive high-value data for smart contracts. The data feeds, stability, and reliability are ensured by staking miners who participate in proof of work consensus. So the last part is the team behind Tellor also built Daxia, which is a derivatives protocol in Ethereum. Daxia created tokens that represented long or short sides of a trading pair, and an oracle was needed in order to execute these smart contracts. As a result, the team created Tellor, which is a decentralized purpose-built oracle solution. So basically, that's honestly it, guys, for everything. You can end up looking at them up on CoinMarketCap, look them up on LinkedIn like we just did. You can even just go to the main website for Tellor and then Tellor.io, and it'll end up explaining everything to you there. I will catch you with my co-host, Steven Springer, later in the week when we end up bringing you more good content and everything like that. So until next time, I'll catch you later. Christian Hayes, we got next, we out.